Roman Reigns has made a decision. This is after Paul Heyman on SmackDown revealed that he has not talked to Roman Reigns since WrestleMania 40, and it wasn't Roman Reigns' idea to withdraw from the draft. And we'll get to the real reasons why Paul Heyman made these stunning revelations and the surprising decision that Roman Reigns has made after hearing what Paul Heyman said on SmackDown. This all comes after Paul Heyman broke major news on the latest edition of SmackDown, which took place from France. Paul Heyman walked into the SmackDown GM's office, Nick Aldis, to speak with him concerning the match with the Bloodline versus Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. But things quickly turned to the subject of Roman Reigns. This is when Paul Heyman said something that nobody expected him to say, which is, I haven't talked to Roman Reigns since WrestleMania 40, as Paul Heyman maybe shared a little too much information and put himself in a very bad spot. As Nick Aldis asked him point blank, are you saying that how can it be that Roman decided to withdraw himself from the draft if you haven't spoken to him since WrestleMania 40? And Paul Heyman had to admit it was his decision. Paul Heyman decided that. Roman did not. So obviously it shows that there are major problems not only in the bloodline, but between Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns. And later on, Paul Heyman showed up on the Rko Show as he confronted Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. But once again, things quickly turned to the subject of Roman Reigns, as Randy Orton asked Paul Heyman point blank, who is the real tribal chief? Obviously, it's either Solo or Roman, and Paul Heyman was just about to answer, but then Solo and Tonga interrupted and attacked Orton and Owens. But what does this all mean? After SmackDown went off the air, Roman Reigns made a decision involving Paul Heyman and the Bloodline, and this will truly change everything. Let's get to Roman's decision right now. Obviously, after Paul Heyman's stunning revelations about Roman, fans are wondering what is the truth. Well, Paul Heyman made an ad-lib. He improv'd during the segment with Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. An ad-lib that might give us a hint about what the truth actually is. Is it true that Paul Heyman hasn't spoken to Roman since WrestleMania 40, nearly a month ago? Is it true that Roman did not withdraw himself from the draft? Well, fans began to chant, "We want Roman." Paul Heyman was caught off guard, as he did not expect the French crowd to chant this during his segment on the Rko Show. Heyman, obviously quick-witted, said, "I want him too." Heyman responded by saying, "More than you will ever know, I want Roman too." And when he said this, he looked directly into the camera, and it looked like he had a tear in his eye. This obviously was not a scripted line. It was simply Paul Heyman replying to a chant, "We want Roman." And this could show one of two things. One is, I want Roman back because he's my tribal chief and I'm here to serve him. Or it could mean, I want Roman too, more than you will ever know, because I want to destroy him. I want to lure him into a trap so Solo and the new bloodline can take him out once and for all. Obviously, fans have been left a little bit confused and wondering, where does the truth lie? We have those two possibilities there, but it seems that one person who is not confused about this is Roman Reigns. This is because Roman has made a decision about Paul Heyman and the Bloodline. He made this decision after the revelations by Paul Heyman on SmackDown. Now, during this episode of SmackDown from France, Roman Reigns was nowhere to be seen. Yes, he was talked about, but he was not on the show. He did not make the trip to France. Instead, he is in Hollywood filming 2 movies, one with Eddie Murphy and another one with Seth Rogen and Keanu Reeves. But it seems that Roman took a break from his busy movie schedule to watch SmackDown, and it seems that he heard what Paul Heyman revealed. And after hearing these revelations, Roman has made a surprising decision, as it's very possible that Roman has made a decision about Paul Heyman and the Bloodline. So what exactly is this decision? Well, it could be that Roman is about to fire Paul Heyman, or that he actually already fired Paul Heyman. Because we have to remember, Paul Heyman said, "I haven't talked to Roman since WrestleMania 40. Do you remember that hug on the entrance ramp while Cody was celebrating in the ring with his family and other wrestlers and Triple H? Roman and Paul Heyman, away from WWE cameras, shared a very touching hug, and Roman actually wiped away tears after they hugged. Fans caught this on their cell phones, but many fans wondered, what was this all about? And why didn't WWE cameras show this? Well, after hearing Paul Heyman's revelations on SmackDown and putting 2 and 2 together, hasn't talked to Roman since WrestleMania 40. They shared this hug at WrestleMania 40. Roman wiped away tears. Well, the last time Roman fired Paul Heyman, guess what happened? He hugged Paul Heyman and said, "I'm sorry I have to do this, but you're fired," while he was hugging him, just like on that entrance ramp. Now, the firing didn't actually go through and they stayed together, but this time it could be permanent. And because Roman fired Paul Heyman at WrestleMania 40 on that entrance ramp when he hugged Heyman, that is why Heyman has not talked to Roman since WrestleMania 40, because Roman fired Paul Heyman. And it's very possible that the mastermind behind this whole coup involving the Bloodline is not Solo Sikoa, it's Paul Heyman, as he wants revenge on Roman for firing him. What are your thoughts about Paul Heyman's shocking revelations about Roman Reigns on SmackDown? Leave a comment and give me your opinion.